bit. Let's hit this before we go to the break.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Come Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
We are almost, Tim, to the halfway point of the year. We're at week 25. Next week will be the halfway point.
Oh, we're halfway there, living on a prayer
in the year. Let's get these other guys out of the way, since we're the only two people here this week. We'll start with intern Mark, and yes, these are actually intern Marks. You might recognize them in a couple of minutes when I give mine, but intern Mark is Big E at number 1, Roman Reigns 2, Sammy Guevara,
Hagar at number 3.
Sammy Hagar, ramen noodles, and big
large E.
Matt went a little bit different. You went Sammy at 1, new TNT champion. He went Sasha at 2. I had Sasha at my 3, with her involvement in the in the women's title match. I had her at my 3 until last night when Sammy won the TNT title. He has Big E at number 3. Ryan has Sammy at 1. He has -1 at number 2. You know, the tribute episode of Dynamite last night, and obviously, you know, was a pretty emotional one. There's the camera shot. I know I tweeted it out late last night, early this morning, whatever you want to consider it, from behind -1 looking out, and there's the sign of Brody's a sketch of Brody's face with "It's Wednesday, you know what that means," and definitely an emotional night with Dynamite last night. So he had -1 at number 2. He had Shayna Baszler for just destroying the Evolution on Monday Night Raw this past week. So Tim, you want to go with yours even though they're not yours?
Sure. So the winner of the Extreme Rules Pick'em chose Roman Reigns at 1, Big E at number 2, and Sammy Guevara at number 3. And I had those in pretty much the same order, except I had Sammy at 2 and Big E at 3.
Okay. And then for me, I have Big E at 1. You know, we talk about like must-watch matches. I'm not necessarily going to put the cage match with him and Bobby at number 1 or at a must-watch. But real good main event from Raw. So if you want to check that out, I do recommend it. Roman Reigns continuing his reign as Universal Champion with the win at Extreme Rules on Sunday. Sammy Guevara at number 3 with the win over Mauro. Wasn't a huge fan of the ending. It's not even like Sammy winning the title that bothers me. I don't think the ending of that match was executed that well. For everything they've done to build up Hero, and I'm not saying that he's buried or any sort of like dumb words that people want to use from time to time. But I didn't like the manner in which they closed out Dynamite, and you know, they almost had a timing issue because, man, they were right up against it. Maybe that was intentional because you ran the little gimmick in the first break of Roads to the Top last night. And the first challenger now for the TNT title is Bobby Fish. Which I get it. It's an open challenge, but I still have to somewhat chuckle at wins and losses and rankings, and your title match is against a guy who's never even wrestled there. But whatever. That's another issue in and of itself. We've discussed that before. But Sammy, my 3. Those are my 3. Tim, you want to update us on where we're at for the week and where we're at for the year?
I absolutely would. So for the week, Big E second time in 3 weeks, he has taken the number 1 spot. Number 2,
man slapping me.
that's right. Number 2 is Sammy Guevara, just missing number 1 by 1 point. Roman Reigns earning points once again, following up a first place finish last week with a third place here, only 3 points shy of the number 1 spot. And then tied for third is -1 and Sasha Banks, which takes us to our year-end report. And jumping up to the number 4 spot, or number 3 spot, excuse me, is Big E. Last week, he was tied for 8th, and he has come from, in 3 weeks, out of the top 10 to in the top 10 to in the top 3.
Big meaty man slapping me.
He is on a roll. However, with Roman earning 4 points this week, he has now increased his lead on the field by 21 points. So Kenny Omega would need 2 first places and a 4th to tie Roman. That would probably be his fastest route to the top, or he could get 3 second place in a row. But Roman Reigns is keeping a stranglehold, and the rest of the top 10 is exactly the same. As a reminder, all first place winners get 10 points counted towards their final total. Second is 7, third is 4, fourth is 1 point to the total. And the full listing of everything is available on 3countthursday.com. Link at the top for the wrestler of the week. It'll break down the rules and how the grading is done, and then a week by week breakdown and our master list of the wrestler of the year standings.
All right, we'll close this up. We'll go to break. When we come back, we're going to be talking a lot about the WWE draft. It's our question of the week and more. So make sure you stick with us. 3 Count Thursday Live.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.